were talking about Liverpool, so should we just go on to them right now?
Sure. We can go into Liverpool.
Yeah. I mean, what did y'all think? I think you're being a bit harsh with them. I feel like they dominated that game. Like, obviously Brentford had some chances, but Brentford, I mean, every game.
It's all counters.
Yeah, like every game I've seen them against you guys, against City, against whoever they play, they always have chances. Like they're good going forward. Like so, I mean, and Liverpool, yes, their defense is not as good. But I mean, I thought they dominated that game. I mean, it's
they dominated the game. I'm not saying that they should have lost the game or not. They've dominated the game, but
but you said they were lucky to win.
Yes, but I think they were lucky because
they had like 36 shots.
Yeah, they had like 36 shots. So I mean, to say they were lucky to win is a bit.
For me, they were a bit lucky because they have to pop. When you play in the game, yes, you dominate it, and we've seen Arsenal do that for so many years. When you dominate a game, it doesn't mean anything. If there's nothing that you can do up front. And if you're not showing that you're dangerous, I think for 70 minutes, the Brentford had the better chances. Wissa came in, it went in, and I think Mbeumo went through a couple of times. Brentford had the better chances. So in that sense, I'm saying they were lucky to win that game. They probably at best draw that game in any given time, in any given day, because like we've seen Brentford against City, for example. City, those chances, Brentford capitalized on those chances, and it turned out to be a draw. That's what I'm saying. And if Brentford, I mean, Wissa missed a guilty chance, and so that's what I'm saying. They were lucky to win it. I'm not saying that they were being dominated. Yes, they were the better team. They had most of the ball, of course. But they were lucky to win it because not only that, and then the guy who comes on and scores the goals should have been sent off.
Yeah, I think real quick, it all goes back to where Liverpool is at and the good window they had. It's like it's all payback from the summer pretty much because they were lucky, but they created that luck in so many ways, right?
But they didn't do anything in the summer.
Not the summer, the window.
Oh, no, not in the summer, but, just transfer windows in general, because that's something we're going to talk about Man U, right? The transfer windows, they obviously stack up. They stack up, and then you have a team, and then that team is there, and that's what you have to work with, right? They did their business, not even this window. They did it last window, right? The only guy he got was Chiesa, and Chiesa came in, and he had a great 20 minutes against Brentford, right? So that as well is part of the baggage that they have, is that, again, they have the weapons. They can bring in on the weapons anytime, and they can create the luck, So definitely, again, Liverpool are vulnerable. They can lose games. We can see the vulnerabilities, but is anybody ready to exploit that? Is anybody, has not only the competence, but even the players to exploit the weak defense? Because you guys saying the defense is weak, I feel like it's only when Konate was not there that they were weak for a few days. But then when he came back, especially that last game, we can see that he's back fit. When they played against us and they drew, and we drew, you could see that Konate was not 100%. The way Garnacho took him down the right side and crossed it, it was not 100%. But now that it's 100%, I think they're going to go back to being super solid. And the difference as well there is that, with Slot and Arteta, for example, and not to compare them saying one is better than the other, whatever, just with the options that they have, Slot doesn't mind bringing in Gomez right there, CB, next to, Van Dijk when Konate is injured, right? He trusts his CB, he trusts his other CB that's there.
Yeah, but Gomez is like is the second choice CB when one of them is injured. You have Gomez or Kwanzaa, so there's a step there.
There is a step there.
I mean, why is he not going to Kwanzaa straight away and going to Gomez? Because Gomez is available, right? Because you have that available. Yeah.
Again, my whole point is he did a like for like, right? He was allowed to do a like for like because he has the player.
You have to understand as well. I know you're talking about Timber is a center back. He plays center back for you.
I'm not arguing that Timber was in the right place.
So,
Timber was in the right place. I'm talking about Partey. I'm talking about Partey right back.
The thing about that is Partey right back. There was no one else to put him there. That's the thing, because it's Timber who plays there.
I get it.
Timber plays there. So you put Timber in. That's why you put Partey there.
Right. Again, my point was just that you are able to change like for like. That's what Slot is able to do, right? Gomez.
The thing about that
you don't know who Gomez is.
If everyone is fit, then you have option back there. That's the thing. But White is not there. He can play right back. Tomiyasu is not there. He can play right back. So there was people missing as well.
I get it. You know, injuries. You guys know that. You guys, out of all people, you guys cannot use injuries, right? You cannot use injuries. Injuries was bound to happen. You guys had the chance to get their players and everything. As I said, this goes back multiple windows from what Liverpool did as a groundwork for their team, right?
I don't understand when you say go. How far back do we need to go back? Because last year, if you're saying last year they had a good window, but they had a disappointing year last year. So I mean, with that great window you're talking about,
they built a solid squad.
They did have a good window though last year, though.
Yeah, okay, they had a good window last year. So that's what I'm saying. How far back do you want to? They had a good window last year. Yeah. Let's talk about this year. They had a good window last year, and it was so good. But they had a disappointing season, right? They had a disappointing season last year. So let's move forward to this year. We can only judge not only this year they have a new manager, but we can only judge him for what he's doing right now. Why are you going back last year that was going under a different manager, and we know what kind of season they have?
Because we were talking earlier about management. We were talking about, okay, for example, with Arteta, yes, you know, whether he wants players or not, it's not all his choice. There is the management that's there to help him with getting those players. And that's what I'm talking about with Liverpool. They have a management that was in place that got a good squad. Whatever the manager was, they have a good squad. Slot came and he saw that the squad was so good that he only needed one signing, right? That says a lot. That says a lot. You know, from a Manchester United standpoint, trust me, this is gold. This is something we've not had, right? And that's what I'm saying. Just from all this past activity, now the manager can afford to do substitution like for like, and it gels. It doesn't create a rupture. It doesn't create an imbalance, you know? So that was kind of the point I was trying to make. And I feel, again, that's more of the power that Liverpool has that makes it that I don't see any other team come in and really use and take advantage of their weaknesses, you know? And we're going to see that because they're going to play Liverpool. I mean, City is playing Liverpool coming up. I think they have a few tough games coming up as well. So they're going to be tested. And that's something we talked about as well. And we're going to see how they do.
Yeah. I mean, my thing with definitely Liverpool has probably, nobody saw, I would say at the start of the season, Liverpool had the second best squad for me. Now probably with how City's season has gone, we've seen that maybe a few of their players are a bit past it, but obviously we have to see next season. We can't really make that judgment yet, like here and now yet. But they look like they have the best squad in the league. And I think, like we said before, that's the difference, that you can bring on that firepower, that you can make changes, that you can bring on a center back when your main center back is out. That's gonna do a decent job. That he's not the best, but he's gonna do okay. But they are thin at the back though. One thing I will say is that they are thin at the back and at defensive mid. So they've also, I guess, been lucky with injuries.
That's what I was going to say. Because I don't think as a squad, their squad is that much better than everybody else. For example, like I don't think as a squad, but they have been lucky to have most of the 11, most of the main players at least on the field, and I think that's why I was kind of confused about Freddie's point because go ahead.
So I think as a squad, you look at their squad like man for man. They for me, they have the second best squad. I don't see another team that,
which is super high, and that's
I don't think like name for name. Now I think they have the best squad because of how City has gone, like how City's season has gone so far. So for right now, they have the best squad. But if we would say at the start of the season, you look at the names and you look at the players, I think they have the second best squad. And but my point was that they are still thin at the back. And when I was saying they've been lucky with injuries, is that the injury thing is like it's season per season. Yeah. Like last season we saw like some teams get hit, and then this season that they don't have no injuries. Look at Newcastle. Us last season we had all the injuries in the world. This season we didn't have. We're barely getting a lot of it. Obviously you're still getting some, but we're not getting a lot of injuries. And it's just like that. I mean, Chelsea last season they had loads of injuries. Now less injuries. Like they still have some, but less injuries. Arsenal the last couple of seasons they didn't have that many injuries. Now they're getting all. So that's why I said lucky and lucky. It's
cyclical,
it comes and goes, and you need to have the squad. Like that's what they say. You need to have the squad to handle it.
That's what I was gonna say. Liverpool has the squad to handle those injuries because
I don't think totally because I think
when you say that, for example, they have the squad, right? Say they lose. Do you think they perform at the same level? When you say they have the squad, so that means like if they lose somebody in their first 11, whoever comes in, they don't skip a bit, right? Do you think that if they lose Van Dijk and Salah right now, they still go on to play the same way?
No, what I was gonna say.
Who in the squad realistically comes in and replaces these two, the best two players, and continues to make them tick?
I think if they lose Van Dijk and Salah, obviously they're not gonna play the same.
They're not gonna be the same.
They're not gonna have a big. They're not gonna have a big.
How can you be so sure? Like we've seen, like when Salah is on the field. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think they won't be at the same level. There's no way you can be at the same level using your best two players. That's just like there's no way. But I don't think they'll have as much a drop off as let's say Arsenal lost Saka and Saliba. Like I don't think they'll have, and that's what the difference is. They don't need to be at the same level, but that drop off from the first players to the second players is less than other.
Okay, teams. So who's that second player replacing Saka?
Saka?
Who's Salah?
I mean Salah. Sorry.
Salah. They can play Jota there. They can play Diaz there. They can play Gakpo there. There's so many options. Yeah. Even Chiesa, he hasn't played, but Chiesa is a good player. If Chiesa is fit,
on the right hand side, I mean Jota has been playing center forward. Gakpo is on the left hand side. So who's realistically
options?
Okay, Diaz has been playing center forward and he has 12 goals. Who thought Diaz could play center forward?
Right.
They're gonna move people around.
They move people around. They have options.
Maybe in a certain given game, but I'm just saying, like, I mean, I understand your point. They have a good squad, but I'm just saying, if you lose like your best players, like the drop off is a drop off. You know what I mean? I understand why you're saying that they have a good squad, but I mean they like in the midfield, for example, if Gravenberch goes out, there's nothing to replace him. If McAllister goes down, who realistically comes on and does a similar job? You're gonna say what? Elliot Jones, Elliot and Jones. That's what they come in. But I mean, are they really those players that you want to replace him? It's been decent. It's been decent, but
that's the point. That's the point we're making. Look.
The point is not that your replacements are as good as your starters. Nobody's replacement is as good as their starters.
But the drop-off is not that much.
Is less than other teams. That's the point.
That's what we see. We see. That's what we see with that team is that obviously so far this season they haven't lost, big players, so we can't tell for sure. But the same way Arsenal right now is finding other solutions. For example, with Trossard coming to life because things happen that now he's a starter. I think that's the same way that is going to happen with Liverpool if Salah is missing. Somebody's going to come in and they're going to find form and they're going to be pivotal, you know? Same in the defense as well. Now, Terry's saying that they're a little bit thin in the defense. And
yeah, I think the issue is more defensive. I think if they lose 2 or 3 starters at the back, it's going to be a different story. And Gravenberch as well. I put Gravenberch in there because they have no other player that can play 6. They're going to probably put McAllister there. But last year he played there and he did all right, but like it
wasn't
different.
great.
Yeah, it's very different. So that's where I would say they have more issues than anything else. And obviously, if injuries happen, they're gonna drop off in form, and that's where maybe Arsenal might come back and do something, you know. But the injuries thing is a seasonal thing. It comes and goes.
It's
like one year you're lucky, the other year you're not lucky. That's what it is, you know. So
that's one thing. And then the other thing is that when your players are injured, you don't have to rush them back because you have staff that's there that's doing okay. You know, we've seen that as well. Players get rushed back, they come back and they get injured for even longer.
They're not ready, yeah.
I mean, they couldn't wait for Konate to be back. Let me tell you that.
They couldn't, for sure.
Let's just wrap it up on Liverpool right now. This is the way you see it. I don't really see it the same way because I think that because just to finish, because at the beginning of the season, for example, no one was seeing Liverpool. That was including having a new manager and including not making any signing. No one saw Liverpool where they are right now. If you at the beginning of the season you were telling that Liverpool will be so many points ahead of everybody else, most people would say, "Yo, let me smoke what you're smoking." Mm-hmm. So I'm basing myself on that. Just say they're having a great season.
Yeah.
That people weren't really anticipating.
But you don't think you don't think at the start of the season, obviously I think the main thing for most people was they have a new manager. We don't know why he's gonna.
It wasn't about the team.
I don't think it was about the team. I don't think it was about the season. They didn't have a best squad than Arsenal.
No, but let me tell you why. Let me tell you why it was about the team as well. Because of how the team was performing last season, and that team that was performing how they were performing last season was not being added
last season though. Like
so what you what? Okay,
I mean, that's a good point. That's a good point.
You perform like that last season, and then you expect the same players to come in and dominate the league. Come on, man.
Look, that's what the reason I'm saying they went that bad last season is that they were top until March. So it's not like they were terrible and they finished 4th or 5th.
Nobody is saying that. But how you finished last season?
That's what I'm saying. Like they weren't that bad. So
but how did they finish last season? How did they finish last season?
I understand it's surprising. It's surprising. Nobody saw
so that's my point. Why are you trying to report on the point that I'm making? I don't know why you.
No, that's the point. That's the point. And
they fell off a cliff last season from March, like you're saying. Fell off a cliff. And once you get into the new season now, with a new manager that really
don't expect them.
You don't expect and with no signing, basically. Because you have one guy on loan who's been injured till now, basically. You know, he hasn't played. So it's the same guys that fell off the cliff last season that on it. So that's what I'm saying. What they're doing right now is surprising.
It is.
So you didn't think their squad was better than you think your Arsenal squad is better than Liverpool?
I think we have parts where they are better. Of course, forward line, they're much better than us, you know, in terms of squad and the replacements. But I think in some aspect defensively we're better than them. I think midfield as well. I think we've got more options than they do. But it's close. It's close. But I think we have more options.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, what I was gonna say as well, you know, and that's fair what you just said. What I was gonna say is there's a lot of surprises this season as well.
Like Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham Forest. Nobody saw them, of course, anywhere near, right? So again, this season is crazy because there's no small teams in this league, man. Leicester can batter you. West Ham can batter you.
I don't know about
not Leicester, man.
Wasn't West Ham that beat Chelsea the other day? Oh, what?
No, West Ham, not Leicester.
Oh, Leicester. Okay, maybe not Leicester. Okay, hey.
Leicester battering, but the only team that Leicester is battering is United. Let me tell you that.
No, actually, I don't know about that even then. I don't even know because Van Nistelrooy would do a solid.
Yeah, he's gonna vouch. He's gonna be like, guys, take a day off today. That's my team.
But hey, listen, but so you were finishing your point, Freddie, and then let's move on.
Let's wrap it up. Yeah, I mean, that's all I wanted to say. Let's leave it here.